The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the things that you mentioned is how hip-hop in Australia has opened up to a wider audience now.
Mm.
And there was a piece SBS Viceland put out where, I mean, I don't really know exactly how to say what they were trying to do, but they basically shat on a lot of dudes.
Yep.
And it seems as if, like, they used certain dudes to shit on other dudes, you know? Like, I'm not even sure if the guys that were being interviewed really knew how their pieces were going to be used and edited and that.
I agree. Yeah, I was overseas when that came out. I was living overseas when that came out. But so my initial exposure to it was just everyone like going crazy about it on the internet, or like people I've been friends with in the industry and everything like that. So eventually, I'm a bit like you, man. I waited a little bit and then I got into it. And yeah, I mean, to shine a light on new artists that come from different backgrounds is a good thing, but there's no need to denigrate and ridicule the hard work and efforts of people who were very important in building this to what it is now. There's absolutely no need to do that. There's no benefit to that. I'm not sure what the point of that is. I'm not sure who watches that and goes, oh yeah, like, fuck those guys. Like, like, I think it was misguided. I don't think that the younger dudes they interviewed went into the interview with the intention of like, oh, let's go and like criticize people who did this before us. I do agree that the way it was edited made it look real unflattering to some of those guys. I don't know those guys, but I'm just going off what people that I do know who do know them have said. So yeah, I think it was an unnecessary tone in that piece. I think the dude who did it as well probably wasn't. I think he actually said maybe on social media that was his first thing like that he'd done. I don't know. I don't know too much about that, but so maybe he'll learn from that. Definitely the response was necessary, I think. Some of the people who were criticized responded really well and spoke up for themselves really well. Yeah, look, I don't think there's too many people that have seen that thought it was, too many people from inside hip-hop that have seen that and thought it was, an even-handed or fair explainer or report of what hip-hop in this country has traditionally been. There was like even a mention that, or implication that Australian hip-hop fans are racist. Like...
Yeah, when I spoke to Fundamentals, Tucker pointed that out. Like, I can't remember the whole piece. I was just more...
Look, man, I haven't seen it for a while, but he says something... He's kind of taking the piss out of a typical Australian hip-hop fan and says something about, I don't like you if you're not white or something like that. There's a little bit of that there. That's real... Because I'll tell you right now, Australian hip-hop has always been a multicultural place. Always. And... Australian hip-hop has introduced me to people of like so many wide ranges of cultures that I wouldn't have known without it. So Australian hip-hop for me has always just been a meeting place for people that are passionate about music. And it hasn't been ever a place where someone will be rejected because of who they are or anything like that, or where they're from, or so... Yeah. When I say that it was more closed, I don't want to use the word closed. It wasn't like you couldn't be a part of it. It's just, I think it's more a reflection of society. Like society has changed and it's being represented in hip hop, which is like what we want. But yeah, as far as that piece, I mean, I wasn't like sitting there angry about it, but I just thought it wasn't good.
Yeah, it's trash.
It was.
The lesson.
Oh, yeah.